This is Michael AC with Mav News, a subdivision of Mavradio KVNO 90.7 HD2 Omaha, and you are listening to The Bullseye. The UNO Theater Department is inside the Weber Fine Arts Building. In addition to the main stage productions, there are also student-run productions. So I had a chance to sit down and speak with Laura Marsh, a grad student who directed Voices of Shakespeare and the upcoming Brilliant Traces.
It is actually only a 3-night special event, February 8, 9, and 10. It is in the studio slots. We have shorter runs with the studio slots to prep for our main stage production. So again, that's February 8, 9, and 10. Brilliant Traces, which is written by Cindy Lou Johnson, is a play that I was exposed to in my undergrad and always thought I wanted to direct someday. Someday is here. I pulled it out of the archives for proposing for the studio shows. And I just thought it was kind of perfect timing in regards to the department, the needs of the other students. It was something I could fit easily into my schedule. So here we are. I proposed it, got approved, and its demands are not very high in regards to numbers of people. It's a 2-person play. We've got 2 actors in it who are Timothy Mantle and Megan O'Doherty. And with the script, it's very detailed, and so I am able to work with these 2 actors in honing their acting skills with some very specific goals in mind for the 3 of us. It is about a gal who shows up at the doorstep of this guy. It's just that this guy happens to live in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, and it happens to be during a blizzard. So it is a little bizarre that she shows up. She shows up in a wedding dress, and she is not very healthy, so he aids her back to being in a healthy status, and then we get to see what ensues between them. Love and pain and everything in between throughout the play. And it challenges all of us because of the detail and layers that Cindy Lou Johnson has within the script.
Brilliant Traces was not the only student-run production directed by Laura. At the end of the fall 2017 semester, she directed Voices of Shakespeare. That production would introduce her to her future cast in Brilliant Traces. So here is Laura reminiscing on what made Voices of Shakespeare work.
What made that work was open-minded people, actors, with open-minded audiences, with, I have to say, an open-minded director. I had a concept, and my concept was open to possibilities of their interpretations. You hear the word Shakespeare, you think maybe Shakespeare has to be done a certain way, but my show was not about portraying certain characters the way we traditionally see them. But I had, as you saw, several monologues strung together for one end goal. So it became about interpretation of those monologues for the concept of that piece. And the actors were willing to take that in and play. They did not have any stereotypes of how to play Richard or Hamlet or whichever character. They played them for the intentions and motivations we discovered within that process, and they didn't hold back. And I think that's part of what makes acting work when it works, is freedom. And these actors took freedoms, Megan and Timothy, of course, included in that. And they took risks. They went out of boundaries. And with that, then it made it work for me, and in my eyes was successful because then it fit the concept, not stereotypes.
Personally, I was very surprised to find out about this cast. The size of it is very minimalist. Here is Laura going in-depth about this young ensemble.
There's Timothy Mantle and Megan O'Doherty. I was able to work with both of them on 2 projects now. I actually met Timothy years ago via Iowa Western in an auditioning exercise. Only I was not in the Iowa Western world. I had a job. So we had the exercise that day and parted ways, and I had never seen them again until all of a sudden this school year We get to the first day of classes and whoa, hey, there's that guy I knew. So got to be able to get reacquainted with Timothy on Our Town. He played George in that play, so got to kind of see where he was at beyond a 90-second audition that I had seen him in previously, and see where his talents lie. He is, you mentioned the word young, and yet he is wise in his acting skills. He is one of the most talented actors I've ever come across for his age. He doesn't play just emotion, he plays action. He understands text very well. He understands subtext very well. And we've already started to create a lot of subtext and subtext to the subtext for this play in his work. With Megan, I met her with the start of the school year, also on Our Town. We were able to work on a couple of very specific sessions together. So that was really good for me getting to know her and how she works, how she grows, how she learns, how she memorizes, the whole works with theater. I just got to be able to see what makes her tick, so to speak. So moving forward, I then directed the show Voices of Shakespeare for the studio slot in the wintertime in December, which was my personal follow-up project after Our Town. And both Megan and Timothy were in Voices of Shakespeare as well. So I got to take things to the next level with them, see how creative they both were, because it was a concept piece that we worked on. So we got to work on creativity, imagination, concept, instead of just given text, and how they were able to work around each other along with the rest of the actors. So between those experiences, that really gave me a lot of foundation when we got to the audition process. Of course, there's a lot of talent in this department, and it was hard to figure out who to put with who, and I had to work around the casting with Revolutionists and Marat Sod as well. But I just knew that these two had a chemistry that would work well for Brilliant Traces, and I think I've been on the money with that. We've had a really great process so far with almost 2 weeks of rehearsal. Megan is picking up on that subtext, then creating her own subtext. There's a physical chemistry that they both have to have. Working on 2 prior shows has, I think, helped set that foundation to make this easier for them. Maybe easier is not the right word, but more approachable. And so we're making a lot of great progress, great strides with a lot of talent. And youth does not come into play. Not at all. These two are brilliant. Brilliant Traces.
Brilliant Traces promises to be a very entertaining evening, and of course the price is absolutely free to the public. You don't even need a MAV card. It is free for all. Here's director Laura Marsh with some final words about Brilliant Traces.
Just don't forget, February 8th, 9th, and 10th, 7:30 p.m., free to the public. And we are also utilizing the production as a fundraiser for London Theatre Live, where some of the students within our department will get to go to London in May, and so we are going to take donated funds to go towards the London trip for anybody who wishes to participate in that venture of donating. But no pressure, no pressure. We just want people to come and have a great time and enjoy this wonderful story.
Once again, Brilliant Traces is on February 8th, 9th, and 10th, 3 nights only in the Weber Fine Arts Building in the basement in room 006. Doors open at 6:30 and the show begins at 7 p.m. There is no cover charge. It is absolutely free for all. And I would also like to thank Laura for speaking to us about this wonderful production. And special thanks to Megan O'Doherty and Timothy Mantle, Break Legs, and best wishes to the entire crew of Brilliant Traces on what will be a fantastic run. Please feel free to listen to some of the other podcasts here on YouTube on Mavradio On Demand. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And be sure to tune into the station on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time for Mav News with myself and Stephanie Zambrano. You have been listening to The Bullseye with Michael A.C. For Mav News, a division of Mavradio, KVNO 90.7 HD2 Omaha. Power with.